What's up, all my truth seekers? This is Pastor Jacob with another Bible verse breakdown. And this one is coming from James chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. And I'm going to read it in the ESV. What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? You desire and do not have, so you murder. You covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly, to spend it on your own passions. Ladies and gentlemen, this verse is plain. We hear a lot of times people say, you have not because you ask not. Did the Bible say it? Absolutely. You hear people say, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you could tell that mountain to move and it would move out of your way. Did the Bible say that? Absolutely. Can we call book, chapter, and verse for those scriptures? Absolutely. Are they in context? Are they being used in context? Absolutely not, ladies and gentlemen. As we see here, that God does grant us the desires of our heart if we ask Him. And we understand that God already knows what we have in need of before we even ask Him. Yet, when we are in the will of God, when we ask God for the things that are in His will for us, then His answer is always yes. God wills for us to be wise. So then you go to the book of Proverbs and you'll see where Solomon is always talking about, hey, get wisdom, get understanding. These are the principal things. These are the most important things. Get wisdom and understanding. You're asking God for a new car. You're asking God for more finances. You're asking God for a new house. You're asking God for these material things. But what Solomon said, the wisest man on earth, mind you, he said, ask God for wisdom. Ask God for knowledge. Ask God for understanding. These things which He will provide for you freely and liberally. When you get wisdom, you understand how to deal with your finances. You understand how to budget your money. You understand how to figure out these things and get yourself good credit and work these things out to where your financial situation is in a better space than it was last year at this time. Why? Because God has given you wisdom, and your wisdom taught you how to spend the money that you already have. So then when God blesses you with more, you'll know how to spend that too. We go to God asking for all of these things. Lord, I want a car. Lord, I want a house. Lord, I want a husband. Lord, I want a wife. Lord, are you ready for these things? Did you ask God what His will was for you? Because if you had asked God for His will for you, and you said, God, I want a husband. I really want a companion. Then God would give you wisdom. He would give you understanding. He would lead you back to His scriptures. And you would go to Proverbs 31 possibly and read Proverbs 31 about a virtuous woman and the way a virtuous wife is supposed to be and the way that a virtuous woman should be. And you see the characteristics of a virtuous woman, and then you would learn, I'm not prepared for a husband. I need to work on these things to prepare myself for a husband. And then you would say, oh, I just gained wisdom. I asked God and God gave me wisdom. He didn't give me the spouse right then because I'm not ready for the spouse, but He gave me wisdom. But what we do often is we bypass all of that and we're going to go work it out on our own. And then we end up in trouble. That's how divorces happen. That's how abortions happen. That's how a bunch of other stuff happens, because we go outside of the will of God. We don't ask God what His will is for us. We are going to put our will on God, and God is going to watch us fail. But in His grace and His mercy, He comes and saves us. He comes and rescues us. He comes and picks up the broken pieces that we've made for ourselves. Mind you, Proverbs says this, that a man will ruin his own life and then turn around and blame God. How many times have we ruined our own lives? We didn't ask God for wisdom. We didn't ask God for the things that we need, but we asked Him for things so we could squander it upon our own desires. We wanted to spend it foolishly. We just want a spouse so we can lay up and have sex, but we didn't think about all the work and all the growing pains that comes with being a spouse. We didn't think about none of that. Now I don't want this marriage no more. Now I'm ready to throw this away. This ain't no good man. No, you probably got a good man. You just ain't a good woman. You probably got a good wife. You just ain't no good man. You're just immature, and now you guys got to grow because your immaturity caused you to rush into something that you didn't ask God for wisdom for before you started. Ladies and gentlemen, my point here is that when we ask God for the things that he wants for us, he will provide them. You want wisdom? Here's a bunch of it. You want more love, a capacity to love? Here's that. And mind you, also, God will send you trials, and God will allow you to go through struggles and different things that build up this Christian character, that build up your love, that build up your wisdom, that build up your knowledge, that build up your understanding, that build up these things in you so you can grow in your Christ likeness. And as he's growing you in these things, he's preparing you for what's next. We don't want none of that. We just want to skip to what we asked for. So then you jump out there, you get this car, or you get this spouse, or you get this house, or whatever it is. And you didn't ask God, you didn't talk to God, you just ran out there and did it on your own, and now your house getting repossessed, your car getting repossessed, all of this stuff, and you getting ready to get a divorce. All of this stuff because you didn't seek the wisdom of God first. You didn't ask God what was in his will. You were covetous. You were worried about what somebody else had, and you wanted to show off, and you wanted to have what they had. You wanted to do better instead of making God's will your priority. We fail a lot of times in that area, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not keep doing it. God bless you. Thank you.